I've been playing Going Second Sharks in the Dual Triangle event, but I'm gonna be honest, I don't think it's better than a Going First deck, and that's only because going second against Blue Eyes isn't easy. It wasn't that easy of a climb, especially at the higher ranks, but eventually I switched it up, put some Kaijus in there, and it did really well. I played this deck because I always wanted to use Numbers of Ale. This card has been on my radar ever since people used to use it to just special summon Rongo from the extra deck for free. I've been waiting for Konami to release a really good shark to summon from the extra deck, and C32 seems pretty good. The way this card works is you choose 4 number monsters and you add up the numbers. So we're going to add up 13 plus 4 plus 14 plus 1, and that gives us 32. So we can summon any of the 32s, even the C32, from the extra deck for free. The only downside to this card is once it's on the field, you cannot special summon any more monsters except number monsters while you control that face-up monster. So this can be a problem because you want to activate a Bishark so you can deal double damage so you can OTK. So this means you will have to either get an Eggsy on the field or do a combo and special summon a Bishark. That way you can deal enough damage with C32 to one turn kill. So here we're going to special summon that Abyss Shark, search for Big Jaws. Then we're going to go into number 32, go into C32. The opponent is going to banish this C32. Their Exosister XZ has an effect that when we activate a card or effect, they can special summon another XZ sister monster. We'll activate Numbers of Ale to special summon our second number C32. And because we activated Abyss Shark this turn, when we activate C32 to negate their effect and turn their attack to 0, C32 will be able to OTK. If you're locked by Numbers of Ale to summon only number XZ monsters, there's still a way to get more XZ bodies on the field. So what we're going to do is we're going to add Drake Shark. Drake Shark will special summon itself when added. Then we'll activate Abyss Shark. The opponent negates this, so we won't be able to deal double damage this turn. We'll normal summon Jet Shark. Then we'll go into C32 using Numbers of Ale. We are locked into number monsters now. Hydro Jet Shark sends Eggsy Revive Splash. We can go into Stealth Kragan. It is a number monster. So I did pop the wrong card here. That card gets protected by card destruction. I should have popped Hope Woven. So now I'm forced to go into the battle phase to attack Hope Woven. They're going to try to negate my effects. I have 2 soft once per turn negations. So C32 is going to negate 2 monsters. Both of them can attack twice, deal piercing damage, and we almost have enough to OTK. They're left with 100 life points left. And on that next turn, the opponent summons number 39 Utopia and crashes into our monster, committing Seppuku. Sometimes it's better to bait your opponent with Numbers of Ale rather than using it at the end of your combo. So here I'm going to summon C32, force them to activate a Disruption, and then that forces them to remove C32 from the field. And now I can actually start to do my own combo. I activate talents to bait the Drill Beam, then activate the Lightning Storm to get rid of all of their back row. Now I can go into Big Jaws. Big Jaws searches Abyss Shark. Abyss Shark activates. Now I can deal double damage. Summon the Jet Shark after I Eggsy summon. The Primite Roar in the graveyard forces me to special summon Jet Shark to avoid their disruption. I banish the Eggsy Revive Splash. Summon the C32. Deal double damage. OTK. Before we can OTK, we have to clear the board, so I had to experiment with different board breakers. Just about every deck has back row, so Lightning Storm, Heavy Storm, and Duster are cards you want to max out on. I experimented with things like Raigeki and Dark Hole, but a lot of decks have an out to this. They're very resistant to card destruction, so I had to look for other board breakers. One issue with going second in a Blue Eyes meta is because they have negates that aren't monster effects. So if you activate your first card effect, they activate a Drill Beam. That's a spell, not a monster effect, so you can't activate Thrust or Talents. So I'm forced to go into Numbers of Ale and hoping that they activate a monster effect, and they do. So that enables me to activate my Thrust. My Talents is still a dead card since they didn't activate that monster effect during the main phase. So this was a big whoopsie, taking the L here, adding another Talents to my hand. The best possible hand has either a Duster, Lightning Storm, or Heavy Storm with a Droplet. Droplet lets you dodge the Drill Beam while negating the Blue Eyes Spirit Dragon, preventing it from stopping the True Light from blowing up their own field. Madolche has their own version of Drill Beam, Madolche Promenade. You activate the Duster, dodge the Promenade with Droplet, and blow up their back row, negate their monsters. Now I can safely go for the OTK. Big Jaws will add a Bishark, and it's over. Another board breaker that I found to be somewhat useful for this deck is Sword of Concealing Light. First I go for the Lightning Storm, blow up the back row. Then I activate Sword of Concealing Light, flipping all of their cards face down. And this is great because our OTK line with C32 deals piercing damage, which means we can OTK while their cards are in defense position, even when they're flipped face down, since we can activate our effect to turn their defense into 0 during the damage step after they've been flipped face up. In this instance, there's only one problem. They have a Link 4 Avermax, which prevents me from attacking any other monster except itself, and it does have an effect that makes it very hard to defeat in battle, so I'm going to have to get rid of it first. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to go into Fortress to add my Exe Spell and Traps, then rank up into C32, rank up also into Dark Knight Lancer. Dark Knight Lancer will be used to suck up the Avermax. Avermax can't be targeted by card effects, so I can't negate it with C32. I'll be forced into sucking it up. And then going into the battle phase, using the Full Armor Trap to increase my attack, and with double damage, that's an OTK. So the opponent is going to summon a Spell Fragrance on legs, Diabells. Fortunately, we did draw the out. That's a Kaiju. Kaijus are pretty good in this deck because it gives your opponent a monster that you can easily beat over with C32 by negating its effect, turning its attack to 0 and OTKing. We got hit with Valor, but talents came into clutch. We drew into Numbers of Ale. Let's look at another hand with Kaijus. We go for Heavy Storm, they Drill Beam it. We go for Lightning Storm, remove their back row anyway. Then we go for Buzzsaw Shark. Summon Big Jaws, go into Bahamut Shark. Bahamut Shark detaches, summons Lavirtue. Lavirtue adds the Big Jaws. Then we go into Fortress. So I experimented with only having the Exe Armor Trap and not Unveil. So I'm now going to go into Utopic Ray, use Hydrojet to send Exe Splash, tribute their monster. Now they have an effect monster. So then if I did summon our C32, then I would have something to negate and turn their attack to 0. The opponent summoned Jet Dragon, so I'm going to have to go into C32 to negate Jet Shark instead. Activate its effect, target it, negate it, do piercing damage. Another Kaiju, get rid of their boss monster, activate Storm, eliminate the back row, activate Thrust, go for Talents. We don't need the draw, so we activate Talents, remove one of their hand traps, go for Buzzsaw Shark, they hold on to their Valor, we go into Bahamut Shark, see if they activate it now. Nope. We go into Fortress, detach material, add Armored Trap, detach material, add Drake Shark to the hand, special summon Drake Shark, go for Big Jaws, add a Bishark, activate a Bishark, now we can deal double damage, and then we go into Nash Knight. Now we try to suck up their monster, they negate it. One of their monsters prevent me from targeting any of their Melodious monsters, which can hurt C32's OTK strategy. But we're going to go into Dweller and Utopic Ray here, activate Revive Splash, on top of our Dweller or any rank 4, go into C32, target the Gameciel. Let's go Gameciel. The opponent bricked, but they bricked on hand traps. They passed the turn. And when you're running Kaijus, you don't need Dark Ruler or Raigeki, you can take them out and put Kaiju Slumber in your deck. It's the same thing, it blows up the field, but it gives your opponent a monster and yourself a monster. This is more useful in this deck, since we're going to be running C32, and C32 needs a monster on the opponent's field in order to negate, turn their attack to 0, and deal double damage. And it also helps us because we can summon the Gameciel to our side of the field, and because Gameciel is a water, we can use it to special summon our Abyss Shark. In this replay, we get our board wipe with Nibiru, activate the Thrust, get rid of their hand trap, and because they activated a monster effect, we can activate the Thrust, add Kaiju Slumber to the hand, blow up the field, add a Kaiju to both sides of the field, and because we have a water monster, we can special summon Abyss Shark, search for Drake Shark, go into Stealth Kragan, special summon the Jet Shark, dump the XZ Revive Splash, and that's game. If you guys have any thoughts on how to make Going Second Sharks even stronger, write them in the comments below.